Joseph Richard, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
My husband wants me to be the mother to his affair child. I'm gonna waste time. Let's get it.
True off my chest. My husband wants me to be the mother to his affair child.
It's romantic.
What?
Yeah, you heard it right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Exactly what you think.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Yeah. I, 29 female, and my husband, 44 male, have been together for 5 years and married for 2. I met him at church I started going to when I moved cities to start my career. I worked for an insurance company and he's a pastor. I know that we have a notable age gap, but he was always kind to me and made me feel special. Anyway, a week ago, he came home and told me that
Let's not skip over that pastor comment. Pastor's been busy. Hey man, the amount of pastors you hear be in the situations, smashing people in the audience, congregation is crazy. Let's keep listening.
he needed to talk. He told me through tears that he had been having an affair with one of our community members, 34 female, and now she had been pregnant with twins. She had gone into labor. She and one of the
There's no way the story is real. Twins.
twins died, and the other one is in the NICU. He said we need to step up and that he wants me to turn my office into a nursery and set up a cot in the room so we can take turns. I became distressed and told him I wanted some time to think and that maybe I was not sure I wanted to do this. He told me that I made a vow to him in marriage and that God had blessed us with a child, that this is our cross to bear, and that God will never give us something we cannot handle. I told him that it seemed like God had given her more than she could handle because she had died.
Oh.
I know I shouldn't have said that, but I was not thinking correctly. He slapped me and told me that I needed to serve my husband.
This story's getting crazy. I mean, call the cops, leave. What's going on here?
That God had chosen me as this child's mother and I needed to be a humble servant. I just feel so strange. Yesterday, I cried so hard, I threw up. This woman died, yet I feel bad for myself. I feel so ugly. I wanted children and was saving for IVF because I'm infertile. And now that I have a chance to have a child, I don't want it. I feel like I'd be robbing its mother's grave. I pray to God, but if I'm being too honest, I never felt like anyone was ever listening. I feel like I have truly seen my husband and he no longer looks kind. He looks his age and very tired. I want to abandon him and the child. I'm only 29. I can start over. I have a remote job. I can take a day off when he goes to the NICU and pack my essentials and leave. Neither him nor the child deserve this. And although this is my circus, this is not my monkey. My husband wants me to be the mother to his affair child. I left. If that's all you wanted to know, there it is. For those of you asking how the woman died,
thank God.
I get it. I invited you into my business. It was amniotic fluid embolism. I don't know much about those. I guess when they happen, things go wrong really, really fast. We lived in a more rural area, so they just weren't ready for something like that to happen. I didn't leave right away, as I know that I should have. It just wasn't easy. I stayed for 2 months. I knew if I did not at least try to make it work, I would not be able to live with it. Not because I wanted to save my marriage, but because of the what ifs keeping me up at night. I went to marriage counseling with my husband, but it was ultimately fruitless. Of course, it was Christian counseling. I felt like their goal was for me to forgive him rather than actually trying to help me. I was so utterly alone during that time. My parents and brothers are also religious. So even though they weren't happy with my husband, they kept urging me to do what a good Christian wife would do. I spent so much time.
Which is what? Leave? Which is exactly what she did do?
Mm-hmm.
No, a good Christian wife would stay and forgive her man.
That's not a good Christian wife. That's manipulation. And this is why it's important to make sure that you have your own identity and rational thought along with your beliefs. Right? She made the right decision.
We not with the fundamentalist rhetoric.
I spent so much time suffering in my own head that I began to realize that I was
Fundamental Christianity is still valuable, but it doesn't mean that, you should. I think when it comes to reasons for divorce. I've said this many times, right? Children outside the marriage, someone cheating, bring back diseases, public embarrassment. All those to me are just like you can't blame somebody for saying, no, you've crossed the line there.
Going through the motions, doing what I thought people expected me. I entered a state of derealization for that time, and that was an absolute mind. The feeling of nothing being real, not even myself, was horrible. During this period, my husband brought his baby home, and while he tried to split the care 50-50 at first, he ultimately didn't trust me to look after the baby because I was lost in space. So he ended up being the primary provider. When I was with the baby, all I could do was think about how its existence ruined my life. It'll look at me with its big blue eyes, and I would just wish it would disappear. I would actively spend time resenting a baby. There was a time when I was thinking to myself, and I wished it would stop breathing. That was when I knew I needed to leave. I was blaming a baby and wishing ill upon it, and that was not okay to do. I don't remember much about this time besides that. It was mostly a blur otherwise. I sought services through my work to talk to a therapist, and I eventually came back to earth. She helped me make a plan. At no point did I fear my husband. I truly believe the slap was a one-off event. However, screw him. He doesn't deserve closure. On a night he had a long Bible study, he always took his baby with him because he didn't trust me. I packed my essentials and dipped. I met him pretty quickly after college. I didn't have much to take as for furnishings. I fit everything I wanted into 3 suitcases and 4 moving boxes. It all fit into my SUV after some mediocre Tetris skills. I was able to change my phone number online before I left, but I did leave the divorce papers under his pillow with the lawyer's contact info, kind of like a tooth fairy, but for adult assholes.
Oh,
I love that.
I was the breadwinner. In my state, we were not married long enough for me to pay spousal maintenance. At least that's what my lawyer's saying. I own my vehicle outright. We have our own bank accounts and a shared expense account. We filed taxes separately, and the church owns the house. He's being an ass about it all, but I'm hoping it should be done soon. I got a decent apartment in the city a few hundred miles away. I've never lived in a city this big before. Everything is so expensive, but besides that, I like it. I found a new therapist, met some new friends, and I found a new church with loving people. I still have my days, but for the most part, I'm content. I think it will always hurt on some level, but I'm working on taking my power back. I turn 30 next month, and I'm hoping it will be the start of the best decade yet.
Yo. That's crazy. She obviously made the right decision. Monster of a man right there. Check out some of these comments, see what the people have to say. First comment here says, tell the church and see if he still feels the same after. Right. You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised how churches will, and by the way, this is coming from somebody who thinks that church can be a very good thing, especially when you find the right type of church. It's just, feminism has infiltrated churches now. Lots of too much wokeism in churches. But you'd be surprised just how much people will think their spiritual leaders will do no wrong, especially when they're lying to him on that pulpit. Here's another comment that says, serve him then ... with divorce papers. Here's somebody else who says, so manipulative. Go, run. And she did. Another comment here says, the nerve of him using their vow against her to guilt her into taking care of a kid from an affair. His vows weren't an issue in his adulterous behavior. Another comment here says, we, in quotations, need to step up. What? Another comment here says, my thought is she would have never known if the woman didn't die. Another comment here says, my drink came out my nose at the God has given her more than she can handle because she died. Somebody else here said, I would tell everybody. Another comment here says, so many red flags with the red flags emoji. Here's somebody else who's, that's it. Listen, guys, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pot. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.